All right, so what's going on, family? We're going to talk about this post on Reddit, talking about if Trump fires Jerome Powell, the U.S. financial credibility is gone in 5 minutes. Is that true? Let's figure out. Welcome to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe. We are here to look at points and perspective of individuals who post on a lot of the economic news of the day. And we try to get a perspective as to what they really feel so that we can potentially make our own decisions and formulate our own opinions as to where we think the world is headed so that we can prepare ourselves. So let's go ahead and break this down real quick. So here's the post right here. If Trump actually goes ahead and fires Jerome Powell, a man that he appointed in his first term, the financial credibility of the United States will evaporate in 5 minutes. We're not talking about a bad situation anymore. We're talking about something outright dangerous. So this individual who posted this is trying to paint a negative situation. The independence of the Federal Reserve is a fundamental pillar for maintaining inflation expectations, 2% target, and labor market stability. Without it, markets lose trust. Rates could spike uncontrollably, and the dollar status as the reserve currency might start to crumble. So those three things, if Trump fires Powell, could go down according to this post. Now, I don't know. We'll see what some of these other comments has to say. What's even more alarming is how little Trump seems to understand not only about trade, where his ideas are already widely discredited, but even about basic economic expectation. He cites energy prices as a sign of lower inflation, completely ignoring the medium and long-term expectations, which are clearly pointing toward a reemergence of inflationary pressure. The idea that the Fed should be punished or politicized based on short-term price fluctuations is not just wrong, it's borderline suicidal for an advanced economy. You can't run a country like a casino, and this time, if he pushes through with this, the entire global financial system will take notice. So let's go ahead and look at some of the best comments from this article, because it's not necessarily if Trump can fire Powell. I think the issue comes with if he can do that, then who would replace Jerome Powell? Because what reason would Trump have to fire Jerome Powell? The only cause would be because Powell is not doing what Trump wants him to do, which in this case is he wants him to cut interest rates like right now. And for Trump, if you're not going to do his bidding, if you're not going to go out and do what he wants you to do, he's going to call you a loser. He's going to try to put you out on Front Street. He's going to put a whole lot of tweets out there just to convey the narrative to the world, to the public, that you are this individual. It's obvious that we can see Trump throughout his life has never really ran across somebody that put him in his place. And here he is, 80-something years old, and he still acts this way because nobody really gave him the hit to let him know, well, I guess I'm not the biggest person in the yard. Because he thinks he can go ahead and just move and push people by simply calling them names. Why in the world would he come out and call Jerome Powell a loser? Like, it's beyond me to figure out why people ain't pushing back on Trump when he's the one that initiated the attacks. And now he's considering if he has the power to fire Jerome Powell. Now, the question is not considering. I think he thinks, okay, if I go through with this and I fire Jerome Powell, what will happen? And I think he has people in his corner that's kind of like, look, yeah, Trump, you can do whatever you want, but you might don't want to do that because you would even further isolate America and the US dollar. I think he wants people to know that he has power. And if he wants to exercise that power, he will. But I don't think Trump realizes that by him placing that out in the atmosphere, putting that out there on Front Street that people will also take precautions and make their own decisions. And they can also put their stance out there on Front Street too. So yeah, people are sitting on the sideline looking like, Trump, do what you do. Fire Jerome Powell. Do what you do, because we will make our next decision on how we're going to move. And you can't say nothing about it, because you are the one who initiated this situation. You are the one who decided to fire Jerome Powell. For what reason? All because he didn't want to cut interest rates. Cool. Do what you do. But these other nations will turn around like, all right, cool, we can't depend on the dollar no more. We're not going to buy America's debt. We're not going to buy their bonds. We're going to stymie away. We're going to switch from what we thought was a very stable currency and move it to another stable currency. These nations are also preparing, and they will have scenarios already positioned for if and when he goes ahead and fires Jerome Powell. And rather than the Federal Reserve being an independent agency, the moment that he goes ahead and fires Jerome Powell, you might as well hang it up with the American dollar, because that position, that once independent agency, will now be controlled by the executive branch of the United States government. Whoever is sitting in the seat of the president will now dictate what goes on with monetary policy in America. And if you have somebody like Trump sitting at the helm dictating monetary policy, just look at the chaos that's going on right now with the tariffs. And now you want to give this man control of monetary policy of America and the dollar. Good luck with that. So for us, we need to get prepared to get ready for that. Like, we are being mindfully ignorant if we think that Trump will obey laws. Well, crazy. You are crazy if you think that this man and the people that he has in his cabinet follow laws. Just look at what he's done the first 100 days in office. And you tell me if he is actually trying to follow laws. Now, Trump likes to be in the limelight, so maybe he won't follow through with this. But just the fact that this has been brought up, these other nations are looking now. They are. Now, it may not happen immediately. It might not happen swiftly, but these other nations will begin to divert away and separate away from America. And you can't blame them. Like, if you were the president of a nation, a high official within a world government, what would you do? Let's look at some of these comments real quick. U.S. Treasury's yield is already 50 basis points above swaps. Damage is already done. Credibility is already lost. Okay. Next one. It's already gone. It can only get worse, obviously, because the president of the U.S. is trying to end the United States. But there is no credibility. This administration is a joke and a laughing stock. Okay. That got 1.6 thousand upvotes. Trump's first run, he had people holding him back and reining him in. Now there's nothing and no one holding him back. This is unchecked power. He will do irreparable damage if Trump is in control of the Fed. This is why he keeps on talking about precious metals and crypto reserves. He wants to destroy the US dollar. Is that the plan? Is that the plan? Because if that is the plan, then guess what we need to do? Get ready. If the dollar is not going to be the reserve currency of the world, then what will be? Money is a medium of exchange. It has to go somewhere. It's not eliminated. It gets transferred from one medium to the next. So if it's not going to be in the dollar, then what fiat currency is going to be around? that's going to hold value. You need to start looking to see which currency, fiat currency, is maintaining and is stable and is increasing in value against the dollar, because that tells you where the world reserve is placing their money. And if it's not going to be in fiat currency, then look at gold, look at silver, look at Bitcoin, and just park there. If that's the plan of America to destroy the dollar, because some people have even mentioned that this could be the beginning stages of like the new Bretton Woods, to where it's going to completely revamp the monetary system. Here's the next comment. I think the mantra of the 2020 should be, no matter how bad you think things are, they can always get worse. The U.S. has a way more credibility to lose and way further to fall. We're still in the stage where if we got really lucky and Trump was impeached and removed from office, a swift return to the old status quo would be somewhat possible. Sure, there will be some damage, but it can be walked back. Trump firing Powell and the levels of inflation and dollar devaluation that the administration more or less explicitly wants to cause would be completely unsingable bell. Would be a completely unsingable bell. To be honest, is the next comment. To be honest, it's probably already gone, due to the fact that it has become blatantly apparent that Trump will appoint a yes man as Powell's replacement at the end of his current term. Powell is just buying time. At this point, as soon as he leaves, all credibility will leave with him. Now, you can't deny it. Powell has done a fantastic job holding down the Fed, holding down the Federal Reserve, holding down the value of the U.S. dollar, even during the pandemic. He has kept the system stable. And when you sit in that position, I think that's probably the best thing that you can look forward to, is not to cause any erratic behavior with monetary policy, because people will begin to definitely not trust you, definitely not trust the dollar. You want to maintain stability in your fiat currency. I don't understand what the problem is. Like, why in the world would Trump put a yes man in a position? It's crazy how the mentality of people are. But then in some sense, you got to say, hey, everything can't always be the same. U.S. credibility was gone the moment Mr. Trump got elected president. The rest is just adding insult to injury. That POS eventually turns on everyone around him. The earth is littered with the smelled remains of people he has used and tossed. Last comment. Trump is either a complete moron or is actively trying to run the U.S. into the ground at the orders of his butt buddy Putin. Nothing else can explain his action in his first 100 days. Not even the idea that it is a naked grab for power is reasonable, given the insane moves he has made with tariffs. Like, people around here look like that. I don't know what the hell going on. I don't know. Here it is, 100 days, and this man has caused this much mischief, this much chaos. It is completely off kilter. Nobody understands what is coming next. Well, if this is the first 100 days, imagine what the rest of the administration is going to look like. I mean, just think about it. Don't think what used to be to continue. You really need to think, what can you, at this point, your mentality needs to be, I need to expect the worst. And that's what a lot of people who have gotten hit with these tariffs are like now. Oh, okay. Because when Biden was in, everything was cool. Everything was moving. Nothing was broke. But then Trump enters and everything has completely shattered. So now others have switched their hats, their mentality, into saying, okay, cool, I'm expecting the worst. I'm not looking forward to America to do anything good for me. That's how these other nations are moving now. So maybe we should. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you maintain profit. And as always, trade different.